It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam. Danny here from the great Sacramento, California. First off, I'm an everyday listener. Love what you do. When you guys brought up the topic of parents paying for their adult children's bills, right away I thought of my 24-year-old brother, who has somehow convinced my mom that he's training to become a movie director. The training consists of laying on the couch watching movies while high and drunk all day and unemployed. And she doesn't even question it. Keep up the great work, Ace Man. Talk to you soon.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Exactly what I'm saying. Hey, can we make this adjustment? I barely got into it in yesterday's show, but I think I need to get into it a little deeper.
More Boda Bag apparel.
You could do a Boda Bag ski beanie.
Yeah,
You split that Boda Bag on the seam and pull it over with a little elf hat, the little knob on the top.
That's high fashion.
I'll go full
Functional,
Boda Bag. Boda Bag holster.
Head to toe.
Elbow pads if you skate. All right. The Boda Bag slipper's not a horrendous idea.
I don't like my beverages on near anyone's feet.
Well, it'll cease being a functional Boda Bag at that point.
Have you seen those sandals with a bottle opener on the sole? The bottom of the sole?
No, but I like it.
All
right, let me ask you this. It was discussed in yesterday's show because I had that dream about Jimmy Kimmel, and then there was the hot chick in your math class who had that dream about you, but dreamt you were gay.
Yep, traumatized me.
I feel like it puts too much pressure on the person that was in the dream, where you go, I had a dream about you. My dream was not about Jimmy Kimmel. It's about me. Mm-hmm. He's in it.
You co-star.
Now I sound obsessed and gay.
Yeah.
And if you ever have a dream about like a female office worker or something and you say, I have a dream about you, it's bizarre, sexual, crosses a line. I think we need to tweak it. No more saying, I had a dream about you. You go, I had a dream with you. You were involved in it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't you. I'm always the star of my own dreams.
Exactly.
I got my feet on the ground.
I'm first billed in all my dreams.
Right. I write, direct, produce, and star, and do all my own stunts.
Yeah, you should get more credit.
I am the Tom Cruise of dreaming. So when you say I had a dream about you, it seems like you stopped and were like obsessed, or you went to bed focused on that person.
Yeah. That's why I was so flattered.
I had so the reason Jimmy was in my dream with me,
it's not gay anymore.
Not about him. The reason he was in it is because during the time in Fresno, Mike August decided to put Jimmy and Danny Two Sheets and Baby Doll Dixon and Cousin Sal on a thread.
Little group chat.
On a group chat because he wanted them to weigh in on Cocaine Bear. Not the movie. No. Mike has been pitching. We get a character called Cocaine Bear, and he said, and it's going to be funny, and nobody wants to do it, and every comedian has passed. And
he tried to pitch it for this show. Now I feel badly because he's been pitching this for a while, and now this is the first people are going to hear of it.
He's gone public. He's going public now. So he pitches it.
Yeah.
I need a thumbs up or thumbs down. This is a killer idea. Cocaine Bear, and then he pitches it to Danny Two Sheets and to Jimmy.
I have some of the pitches. I can read them to you.
And to Dixon. Oh, I don't even. Okay. Some of it is funny, but the point is, of course, he's then eviscerated because no one is going to say. Does he think Jimmy's going to sign off on his idea?
No,
his comedy idea? He's going to make fun of him.
Yeah,
and he makes fun of him.
That's what group chats with all dudes are for. You're supposed to make fun of whoever says something.
I think Daniel said the only way this thing would like make the air is if you had a competition for worst ideas. And we did this one. So Mike had to know he was going to be destroyed by these people, you know? So then I was like, let's not pile on Mike.
Oh no.
I'm not mean-spirited. And he's trying.
Yeah.
And he was traveling, had to be up like 30
hey guys, come on.
straight hours.
Is that the end of his pitch? Just
cocaine bear?
He's got...
Or does he get into it?
It's nuanced a little bit.
Is it like a resident of West Hollywood with a substance abuse problem?
Close.
Or is it?
No, yeah, it's who knows. So, but I thought, so I wrote, it seems like only yesterday Jimmy was doing the chupacabra on Kevin and Bean, because Jimmy did do the chupacabra when the chupacabra was a thing, the goat sucker.
Yeah.
And
his regular voice.
The chupacabra, doing the chupacabra on Kevin and Bean is kind of equivalent to doing the cocaine bear on this show.
Oh.
So I sort of said, well, it's been done before in a
elusive,
variation.
dangerous creature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look,
calling into the show.
If you've signed off on the chupacabra, you kind of have to sign off on the cocaine bear because it's the same premise essentially. Then I wrote that to everyone over the weekend. I didn't want to enter the fray. I was just like, I'll say something nice.
Toss a grenade in and leave.
So then, stupid Mike with his, we'll take a vote. Take a vote on the cocaine bear.
Well, now because he had a backer. He had some support.
No, he didn't. I waited till everyone else eviscerated him, and then I wrote
went to
that
the
one.
ruins.
Right. Then, when I got back to L.A. at 3 a.m. or something, I turned on Netflix, and there's a series called Chupa.
That's weird.
About the chupacabra. Somebody made a chupacabra. I don't know if it's a kid show. I don't know if it's a buddy film. I don't know what it is, but there is something on Netflix called Chupa, and I just saw it, and it's about a kid in the chupacabra, which you guys can look up.
Yeah.
Am I making this up? Is this brand new?
Oh, that's Chupa. That looks like Chupa. Excuse me. That's a chupacabra, right?
Yes, it's a goat
Christian
sucker.
Slater in it.
It's a flying winged goat sucker. It's on Netflix, and it came out over the weekend.
April 7th, yeah.
April 7th is when I was texting to the group about Jimmy and the chupacabra.
You did this. You brought this into the universe.
So now I got Jimmy all up in my head and Kevin and Bean up in my head. And then I go to bed. And then I have the dream.
You take a swig from your Bota bag and you go to bed.
I don't know how the Bota bag made it in, but that's when I had the dream.
Yeah.
So that's how we got there.
I love when things like that happen. Mm-hmm. That's why this is all simulation, right?
What are the chances that I'm texting about the chupacabra on the day it comes out on Netflix? I had no idea it was on Netflix.
Any creature.
Yeah.
You could have named any creature. You named the chupa.
It is. Were we talking about Caitlyn Jenner becoming a woman on this show, or is that with just me and Mike and
that might have been
Drew's
just you
show?
and Mike? Yeah,
yeah. Dr. Drew will always say to me, it's a movie, by the way, not a series, Chupa. Dr. Drew will say to me, "What's happening next? Where are we going? What's going on?" And I go, "I don't know. Leave me alone." And then he goes, "You know, you always know."
Yeah.
And I go, kinda. And he goes, "Hey. When Bruce Jenner, you said Bruce Jenner's turned into a chick in 1996, like on the radio."
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I did." And he goes, "Well, what is it? How come?" Because he's married at the time. He's got kids. He's the world's greatest athlete.
It's a weird thing to
He's
say.
on the Wheaties box. And I'm like, he's turning into a chick. And everyone looked at me and went like, "What do you mean he's turning into a chick?" Like, first off, that would have been an insane thing to say about anybody back then. But especially the world's greatest athlete.
Right.
Who was, in fact, married with kids. I just went, I don't know. He's turning into a chick. And you could go, well, he got his eyebrows done or whatever. But yeah, guys from the Jersey Shore did that too. Mm-hmm. There was something. And so he was like, what is it? And I was like, that's what I was feeling. I was just feeling like he's turning into a chick. And then people go, you mean he's gay? And I go, no, I didn't feel he was gay. I didn't feel anything. I just went, he is turning into a chick. And that's what I said. Could have been in 97.
Yeah.
And I said that, and everyone just looked at me and went, what are you talking about?
Right. You're a reader of nuance, I think.
Yes.
You brought this up before, but that Asian guy on the plane, the Asian doctor who got dragged off the plane. Everyone was outraged. I was all over the news, like every late night host. But you were the only one that said, no, this guy's a dick and there's something going on. And even when you said that on air here, I cringed. I was like, dude, you can't be saying that. Like, everybody is praising this guy and has this guy's back. And you went out and said this guy's a dick. Weeks later, story comes out, he was being a dick.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's interesting that you can point those things out.
So I made the prediction in October 1998 that he was becoming a woman. 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So there we go.
And you also predicted Trump's presidency.
I said the date on that one, too.
Yeah, you said the year.
I was kind of making a joke, but I did call the year. Yeah. All right. But never listen to me, anybody. Never listen. If I start talking to you about why Purell is bad for you, make sure you don't listen.
Yeah.
Never listen. Sorry. We found the audio. Jesus Christ, how did we find the audio that fast? I'm going out with Bruce Jenner, who's become a woman, by the way. But, oh yeah, if you've seen him lately, he's slowly becoming a woman. It's very bizarre that the guy who won the triathlon 20 years ago, decathlon, is becoming a woman. But he really is, if you've seen Bruce Jenner. He is becoming a woman.
Oh, they're taking you literally in there.
It is the most bizarre thing in the world that a guy, Brett, do you know anything about this? That a guy who is considered the world's greatest athlete. I mean, that's what you are when you are the decathlete winner of the Olympics. And he set a record and everything. He's like been so slowly becoming a woman. I don't know if you've seen him.
No. You think fat or something?
He's had like a lot of weird plastic surgery, and he's like plucked his eyebrows in a weird way, and he wears like a little rouge or something, and he's starting to look like Liberace's boyfriend.
That was 98?
98.
That's a weird statement.
Well, obviously he was... Bruce Jenner at the time was doing something that caught my attention. But I'm always in a sea of people who are like, have you seen Bruce Jenner? Nope. That's all I do is I go, do you see what's going on with this thing? And they go, nope.
Yeah.
That's my world. That's my life. I start obsessing on things, and then everyone around me goes, I don't know what you're talking about, because I have no idea. And by the way, if there were 4 people in that room, 4 people would have went, I don't know what you're talking about. And there were 250 people in that room. All 250 would have went, I don't know what you're talking about. That's all I do is I tell people shit. They tell me I'm wrong, or they just go, I don't know what you're talking about. And then later on, whatever I said was happens, and then they forget about the part where they told me I was wrong.
Yeah.
But 25 years ago, I couldn't have been more clear than me saying he's turning into a woman, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't saying he's going gay. And I wasn't saying he's going to have like a midlife crisis or he's gotten too much surgery done. Or he looks weird, when a guy's
you could have went 50, a bunch of different ways.
No, I said turning into a woman.
Yeah.
Which is precisely what he's done.
I wonder what it was. I mean, you probably couldn't even remember, but I wonder what.
Well, there are plenty of like record producers and stuff like that got a little too much work done on their face and looked a little weird, or their eyebrows a little too thinned out or something. But I never said turning into a woman. I just said it got some bad work done or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder what it was to have you come out with that statement. That
let me explain life to you, son.
Please, I've been waiting.
I am so neutrally buoyant about everything that the slightest wind can move me hard in a direction. Everyone else has their fucking feet planted on the ground and they're dug in all the time, and you can't get them to move. I just kind of float. And if you just go, Bruce is a woman, I'll start floating to the other side of the room. Everyone else is planted.
Right.
They got their feet down. You know why? Because they know what they know. I know what I know. Here's where my feelings are. I know what they're. So they plant and I float. And when you float, slightest breeze of information that happens upon you will move you a country mile. And then I go, this is what's happening. Then the people who are planted plant harder because they have to combat my thoughts for some reason. I don't know why they have to argue with me all the time, but they got to go. It's like, now they have to dig in. And now they're more dug in, and now they're fucked up. And they can't have the feelings and the instincts anymore because they're dug in. It's like a religion. It's like, I know what I know.
Yeah. How does one get into a mindset like that then?
You have to realize that you don't know things inherently. Like you can learn things, but you just don't know things. Other people do a lot of, I know what this guy's thinking, I know what that guy's thinking. Also,
you're saying, like, accept your ignorance.
Accept that you don't know things.
Okay.
And people are way too forgiving with themselves. Like, here's how I feel. Here's what I know. You don't know shit. Most people are fucking idiots, and their instincts are bad. So you got to get buoyant. You got to kind of float around, and you go, I don't know what's going on, but I am going to collect data.
Yeah.
Like a Chinese balloon. I'm just going to do a figure 8 over Caitlyn Jenner, and I'm just going to see, like, what data. So I'm seeing Caitlyn Jenner, and it's moving me greatly. Other people are going, he says bad plastic surgeon, or who cares?
Sure, Adam floated off too.
Or most people don't even know. Then it's like, he grew his hair out a little bit. What's the deal? What's the big whoop? You know what I mean? They're factoring in too much. What they really do is they give themselves way too much credit. They don't realize how fallible they are. They don't realize how bad their batting average is. They move from one thing they were arguing about that they were wrong about to the next thing they were arguing about they were wrong about. You got to get buoyant. You got to get in the middle. And then when you get in the middle and you kind of float a little and you get buoyant, then you can suss out things like COVID much faster than other people who are on the ground.
Anchored in,
dug in, making a point. You know, that's how they end up being wrong for so long. So just float a little. And I'll tell you the key to everything. You have to work motivation in. Motivation needs to be worked into everything. Like it's like, and you have to also like factor in some numbers every once in a while. Like those young kids were harassing dolphins. Like how fast does a spinner dolphin swim? How fast does a 17-year-old from Idaho swim? Yeah. Okay, now I know it's not a story. You want to see the video? No, I don't. I've done the math. You have to be able to factor some. Now, what do people do? They go, those kids were harassing the dolphins, and they dig in. They go all in, and they dig in. That's the problem.
Yeah,
you've got to float. You can't dig in. You're gonna be wrong about almost every news story if you dig in.
Right.
That's
just be willing to float. Be willing to
just float
around.
And then once you're floating, just like a balloon, just a little bit of information.
Yeah, assess.
It's enough to move you across the room. So my little bit of Bruce Jenner information was enough to get me go hard in the room, and everyone else was just like, he's growing his hair out.
Yeah. you notice things a little more.
Right.
Right.
Which would be awesome.
I know. Like
if people understood I noticed them and then asked me my opinion.
We'll never give you credit.
Drew does. Drew goes, you notice everything, so tell me what's next.
Yeah. Well, also, Drew's wife's really into psychics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so maybe Drew feels like maybe there's a supernatural thing.
No, it's the opposite of that.
All right, so let's get into some news. In Australia, there's an OnlyFans star, and she took up some advertising on a large billboard at one of the intersections in the Perth suburb of Osborne Park, and people aren't happy with it. So we have the picture of the billboard here. So it's a picture. It's her handle, and then a picture of her in a bikini, kind of on all fours there. A QR code and the OnlyFans logo and the Instagram logo. It's brand advertising for her, but people are like, "What are you doing? Kids see this."
Is she a little bit thick? Or am I making that up?
Ben's saying yes.
Are porn stars? I was like watching the news today, and I'm like, prostitutes and migrants crossing the border are now husky.
Oh, thick is a thing.
That's a bad sign.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's weird. Yeah, that all those.
It's like my pappy used to say. You don't got the dick for thick. you got to have some chode on you to handle thick.
See, he had it too. He was very buoyant when he figured that out.
Yeah, you got to have yourself something in the subterranean parking garage down there too. Yeah, she's chunky,
Bosomy, curvy.
Yeah, too thick. I listen.
Too thick.
All right. Anyway.
Well, anyway, so her statement's like, look, I'm in a bikini. Kids are going to see people in a bikini. If they decide to move forward with it and go to this, by the way, if you go to OnlyFans, you have to show them your license. There's actually quite a thick security wall to be able to see any of her content if you wanted to go find it. But
you want to vote in Georgia, you don't need a license, but you want to go to OnlyFans.
You need a license.
You need a
OnlyFans,
license, man. Yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
So it's people are really upset about her billboard there. But look, it's advertising, so there you go.
Yeah, I don't care.
So Dawson,
I'm upset that she's thick.
Yeah. Dawson, there's another high-speed chase over the weekend. This is Dawson's favorite thing. But this one was interesting because during the high-speed chase, someone threw a puppy out the window. They put a puppy in a Michael Kors designer handbag and then just threw the puppy out the window. The puppy is unharmed, completely unharmed, totally safe. The cops rescued this puppy. There's a picture of this very cute dog. And so it's now this dog's with the police department. They're saying so many people are reaching out trying to adopt this dog after the story came up. It is
but they want to make sure the bag comes with it.
So wait a minute. The person who did it, was it a carjacking thing?
Yes,
Okay,
it was. So
this was someone else's puppy,
Chevy
not the person who threw it out the window.
Unclear, actually.
Okay.
It's still an ongoing investigation, but it was a Chevy Avalanche the guy was driving, and he was wanted for attempted murder and carjacking. So they're chasing this guy down. He goes into a getaway car and jumps into that, and now he's in a car with two other women. So now there's three people in this car. He throws a puppy out, gets into the getaway car. He's in the car with three other women. They eventually get stopped in a neighborhood. They all jump out of the car and try to hoof it, which never does it. How often does that work out? They eventually get caught by the police and they surrender. And so you have the getaway car, two women, and the guy.
Well, people are definitely more upset about the dog than murdering or carjacking.
I think that's why this was a story. I don't think we would have even heard about this had it not been a puppy thrown out the window.
Did they throw it out the window or did they drop it out the window? Because that bag looks in decent shape and so's the puppy. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is my buoyant brain once again.
The quote was, tossed from the suspect's moving vehicle.
At what speed?
2 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Whatever speed those high school guys were chasing the dolphin.
That's relative, yeah.
I guess, this puppy looks untouched.
The bag looks pretty unscathed too.
Yeah.
But, hey, look, I'm not supporting it. I'm just saying, watch the headlines, everybody. Be careful. They'll say, thrown out of a
Puppy
speeding
flung
car.
from pickup in high-speed LAPD.
Right. There was a high-speed LAPD chase. The puppy was let out, flung, dropped, or whatever, but not during the high-speed
Hey, they need my
chase.
clicks, man.
Why don't we have... there's no footage of this?
No. I couldn't find any. Maybe,
But
they
there's
can.
footage of the high-speed chase, right?
There's a picture of the Avalanche, the Chevy Avalanche.
No,
that's all
but
it's
they
There
always-
has to be footage of the high-speed
They
chase.
always put the
Every
birds in
local
the
news
air.
network
Yeah.
went to it at the
I
time.
couldn't find it if there was footage. No.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
I will adjust it and say there was a high-speed chase. The puppy was in the car, and it was thrown out of the car, but not during the high-speed chase.
Yeah. Also, was this in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, then it certainly made the air.
That's why I was hoping you would have saw it.
I mean, KCAL9 and KTLA,
They love this
they're
shit.
all over it.
I don't even need
They
to
will
be.
preempt Judge Judy for a high-speed car chase.
I don't have
yeah.
to subscribe to Police Scanner. I just asked Dawson about high speed chase. He runs
right.
in, turns on the TV whenever there is one.
All right. What else?
Oh, so let's talk movies. So The Little Mermaid's being remade live action. It's already had its own share of controversy because Ariel is going to be black, right? Mm-hmm. So now the songwriters of the songs in the original movie, they're working on this one, and they're changing the lyrics to include consent. Yeah, so you like The Little Mermaid. I remember you talking about it once. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a song called "Kiss the Girl." Right, and some of the lyrics into that are it's when Sebastian, Ariel's crab pal, sings, quote, "Yes, you want her. Look at her. You know you do. Possible she wants you too. There's one way to ask her. It don't take a word, not a single word. Go on and kiss the girl.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that tune. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's unclear what they're gonna change these lyrics to, but the songwriters did say they are changing it for more consent. Also, the song "Poor Unfortunate Souls" has been revised. This is when Ursula is singing, and the lines are: Ursula's the bad guy. Ursula sings, quote, "Lines that might make young girls somehow feel that they shouldn't speak out of turn, even." Oh no, sorry, that was his quote. The lines are, quote, "The men up there don't like a lot of blabber. They think a girl who gossips is a bore. Yet on land, it's much preferred for ladies not to say a word. And after all, what is idle babble for?"
You dumb whore. All right,
They're changing that line for sure.
Yes. All right. Let me explain what's going on, floating as I do. I am telling you, we are living in a time where puppies are being thrown out of moving cars. School shootings are going down left and right. We got fucking drag queen story hour. The border's a porous mess. The economy's going to the gutter. We are like China's eating our lunch. Like, we are completely coming undone as a society, but focused on the weird minutia.
Yeah.
And the stuff that would say you lived in a perfect society with no problems if this is what you're focusing on.
Yeah, you would want these problems.
Yes.
These to be your main problems. You want these to be your main problems.
You want this to be your main problem. And this is, I don't know if it's in reaction to our society turning into Sodom and Gomorrah, like people just being stabbed in the streets and stepping through human shit in San Francisco, like crazy drug addict population, homelessness. Like, is it a reaction to that? Like, is it my Gavin Newsom theory where he's like, homeless everywhere, taxes everywhere, businesses fleeing, fucking trash everywhere, graffiti everywhere, and all commercial trucks are going to have to be electrically powered by 2033, where you go, oh, is that what we're talking about? We're talking about utopia in dystopia?
Yeah.
Is it intentional that we're doing more and more sort of utopian talk in the middle of dystopia?
Yeah, that makes it more dystopian almost, right?
Ooh, you're probably right.
Yeah.
All right, we need to take a break because Jim Belushi is going to join us
Yeah.
right after this.